Hello, my name is Unserious, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast shorts. There's no co-host on these shorts episodes. These are now around 2 to 4 minute, sometimes as long as 6 to 10 minute observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 2 to 4 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book your coworker won't stop raving about because it quote-unquote changed their life, but you can't see any difference in their leadership behavior. So how good could that author be? Dick is not a serious man. These lines from Book 3 of Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald bring home an idea that I like to talk about today. We live in an era of unserious people. This doesn't mean that serious people who take professionalism showing up and not being amateurish in their approach to customers, sales, support, operations, or even finance aren't around. It just means that they have to work harder, and they have had to work harder and harder to make even a minimal impact on their projects over the last 25 years, mostly due to the endless presence of the unserious among us. Unserious people are easy to spot and extremely hard to get rid of. They schedule meetings with no agenda, talk to you at your cubicle or at your workspace about things that don't matter. They are more focused on the number of social relationships they have developed at work rather than focused on getting the work done itself. They are competent, of course, at being incompetent about the work we are all ostensibly committed to being hired to do in an organization or on a team. And they don't see how fundamentally unserious they are, which is part of the problem, because all the serious people have been covering up for their incompetence for so long that they just sort of float through an organizational culture believing everything is quote-unquote okay, when in reality, it's always about 5 seconds from falling apart all the time. Unserious people spout the corporate marketing unironically and expect others to, at the very minimum, do the same. They are ruthless in enforcing social norms, particularly when those norms are hollow and really deserve to be blown up. They are unserious because they can't blow up the norms. They wouldn't even know where to start, and the norms are the only thing protecting them from the stark reality of the consequences of their own, unseriousness. Serious people take in feedback, they balance that information with change, and they take the work seriously, take other people seriously, but, this is important, never take themselves seriously. They know that the work will not save them, and they would never dare to ask the work to do that. These are just a few observations for leaders to be able to name what they are seeing all around them in multiple spheres. Do with this information what you will. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast today. And now that you've made it this far, you should subscribe to the audio version of this show on all the major podcast players, including Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, and everywhere else where podcasts are available. There's also a video version of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the video version of this podcast on the Leadership Toolbox channel on YouTube. Just search for Leadership Toolbox and hit the subscribe button there on YouTube. And while you're doing that, leave a 5-star review if you like what we're doing here on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Just go below the player and hit 5 stars. We need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way to help grow this show. And tell all your friends, of course, in leadership. By the way, if you don't like what we're doing here, you can always listen to another leadership show. There are several other good ones out there. At least that's what I've heard. All right. That's it for me.